Dochas, hope for people with autism.
Was diagnosed, I knew nothing about ASD or autism as it's generally known. So I decided to set up Dochas. I was a founder member of this group. Basically, Dochas is the first stop for a family to find out, where do I go? How can I help my child? What schools will I send them to? What are the best schools locally? Who understands, most importantly, their child? Because at the end of the day, the child is the focus of attention and always should be. What they meet in Dochas is parents like themselves who have gone through the diagnostic stage, and a parent can be a great support to another parent because they learned all the tips of the trade. They may not get all the right answers, but they get some suggestions that if they don't work, they get another one the next time, and they don't feel alone, and that's very important.
And we started attending the monthly meetings for parents, which we found brilliant, meeting other parents with children with autistic spectrum disorder. And from there we kind of got a good insight to education and their needs, and which we found very helpful. And now that he's older, I still come to the meetings and I meet with parents with younger children that has been diagnosed. So they find that helpful that my child is older. But our son then, he had his very social difficulties, and he started coming for the social club, which Alan runs.
So I started off with one club April 2 years back, and it's grown to 3 clubs now, 2 on a Saturday, 1 on a Tuesday. So it's what we basically do is we have 4, 5 in the club, and we just have activities for them. We normally have 2 outings a year, 2 to 3 outings a year. One's at Christmas, it would be to the Alloy Caves, and we'd normally have another one in April, which is to Photo Island. So the 3 clubs would go together, and parents. They've been a great success so far. We also run a cinema club once a month, and for some kids with autism, they have a lot of sensory issues, but the Omniplex have given us our own room, and they will adjust the lighting and the volume according to what we want it to be. A lot of parents have found it great in that they haven't been able to use the cinema before this, and we do a bowling club once a month out in the Ennis Road.
I suppose what people forget is that the parents themselves and the family are hugely affected. Although you may have a person with autism or ASD or be on the spectrum of autism, what you also have is a family on the spectrum of autism. Because having a kid with autism actually either tears a family in two or it brings them closer together. But what we have found is that an awful lot of the time it tears a family in two through lack of awareness, lack of knowledge and hopelessness. That's why we named our group Dochas. It's the Irish word for hope, and it's hope for people with autism and families with autism.
Dochas is not a service provider. Its role is to ensure that the best and most appropriate support, practical help and knowledge is made available to families of all people with autism.
This is Cara Sullivan reporting for Resolution TV.